Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Dancing Knight. Hope you're enjoying my weekly videos. I'm going to be posting every single Monday. So, and today we're going to continue with the series of the Immortales, and today's game is a beautiful king hunt which I've named the Immortal Draw. So, let's start. So this was a game between Hamppe Carl and Meitner Philip, which was played in 1870. So quite an old game, but like it was a brilliant game. So it started off with e4, e5, knight c3, bishop c5. So this is also known as the Vienna game. And here the normal move is something like bishop to c4, and then knight to f6, and then sometimes white can play f4, not exactly at this moment, but it's a usual plan for white to play that. But in the game, something else happened, which was after bishop c5, knight a4. So we're always told that we should never move the same piece twice, but Hamppe just forgot about it, and he just moves the knight to a4. So he wants to trade off the bishop because the bishop is quite well placed, but going knight to a4 I don't think is the best way to do so. And now black to play first on the third move. So what should black play here? So here black has to play bishop takes f2 check. He simply has to. If you said bishop to b6, then it's simply too passive and unacceptable, as white will like just trade off it, the bishop with the knight, a takes b6, and something like d4, and white gets lots of space. So here you have to act quickly. White has made a gross error of moving the knight twice. We should act on it. So bishop takes f2 check, king takes f2, and now queen h4 check. Again, just checking the king, making more threats, and just letting the king move away. King to e3. The king is out open after the fifth move. How? But okay, this happened in the game. And here, black to move again. What should black play? So, if you set the move queen to f4 check, then you are absolutely wrong. This happened in the game, but I don't think it's the best move because a queen alone cannot deliver the checkmate on itself. You have to bring other pieces in the attack as well, like um, 2 or 3 pieces along with the queen can easily checkmate opponent king. But just one queen, it cannot. Instead, here you have to play knight to f6. Just quickly getting the knight out, threatening queen takes e4 check, and just making more threats and just telling white what do you want to do. So now d3, so supporting the e4 pawn. So this is a variation which I had calculated. So after d3, now knight to g4 check, and now okay, your move again. White to play. What is the best move for white? So white actually has only 3 spaces to go. King e2, king b2, or king f3. Let's say king e2. Well, king e2, queen f2 is, well, checkmate. So that's kind of bad. King f3. And now there is a mate in 4 for black. Can you find the mate in 4 for black? So here, mate in 4 goes queen f2 check, king takes g4, h5 check, king to x3, d5 check, and now queen g4 or g4, whatever happens, h takes g4 is checkmate. So it's a double check and it's a checkmate as well. And if king to g5, well then simple queen f6 is checkmate. And okay, now king d2 here is the best move for white. King d2 white, just wanting to get the king quickly out of danger from d2 to c3. So knight f2, now black will play, so it's a fork. The queen is attacked and the rook is attacked. Queen e1, so well, just pinning it, just for now. But black can play queen f6 and this rook is trapped and black is better by far. So king d2 here is the best move, but still black would be better. So therefore knight f6 for black was the best move. Oh, sorry. But in the game happened queen to f4 check. And now, okay, king d3 first of all, only move again. d5 and king to c3. Now again, it is black's turn to play. It's Meitner's move. What should black play in this position? So here, black has to play d4 check. Why? Because, okay, now king b3, and now queen takes e4. And now the difference is that the e6 to b3 diagonal, this diagonal here, has been opened. So bishop e6 check is threatened next, and white has nothing to do. But okay, in the game, happened queen takes e4. But black was being too greedy. Here, the best move was, like I said, d4 check. And queen takes e4 now. And okay, it's white to move. And your best move. What is the best move for white? So the best move for white is actually d4. So white is losing the pawn, fine, but white quickly has to just exchange all the pieces so that he can go into the endgame with a bishop up. And this is the only move to come on top of the previous move mistake which black had made. So d4. Now okay, e takes d4, queen takes d4, queen takes d4, and king takes d4. And white is a bishop for 2 pawns up in the endgame. And this should be better for white by far, if not winning. So, but after queen takes e4, in the game happened king to b3. And this gives black the upper hand yet again. And here b4 would have been the best move. And this would transpose into the same variation which I had just showed you. So after king c3, d4, this would be the same position. After king b3, queen takes e4. But in the game happened knight a6. Kind of a simple, sensible move, wanting to quickly develop his pieces, and of course threaten queen b4 checkmate. Though d4 would have been the best move here, knight a6 is another good move. a3. So simply wanting to get the king out of the audio and just stopping queen b4 checkmate. And now a brilliant move from black. Can you find what the best move is for black? So here the best move for black is queen takes a4 check. Whoa, a marvelous queen sacrifice which even the engines do not understand. Here, of course, queen c4 check looks like a checkmate, but then the bishop can take it first. So queen takes a4 check. Now white has to accept this sacrifice. King takes a4 and now knight c5 check. So the thing is, the white king cannot go back to b3 and the white king has to come forward into the black's army with king a5, b5, or b4. So, okay, king b4 had happened in the game, but here the best move would have been king b5, but it is really hard to understand what is really happening on the board. So I think at that moment, king b4 looks like the best move. Here, king to a5 is of course a checkmate after b6, and now king can move to b5, but now simply knight to e7, and this c6 square is blocked, and quickly it will be checkmate as this white king has nowhere to go. And here if king b4, then simply a5 check, king c3, and okay, it looks like the white king is running, but simply b4, king c4, and c6, the good move. And now it's threatened bishop e6 or bishop a6, both are winning, and white cannot stop them. So that's why king b4 happened in the game. And now a5 check. So another check, just wanting to tell the king where do you want to go next. And now, okay, white to play. What is the best move for white? Should white take the knight or should he retreat? Take knight or retreat? Here, the best move is king takes c5. You have to take the sacrifice. You have to come up to it. Because king c3 can be met by d4 check. If you said king c3, you are wrong. Because d4 check, king c4, and now b6. So supporting this knight on c5, queen f3, so attacking the rook, and maybe queen c6 check is also coming. Bishop e6 check, king b5, bishop d7 check, king c4, and now c6, followed by bishop to e6, which will be checkmate, and white cannot stop it. It simply shows how helpless white is. These the pieces of rook on h1, rook on a1, bishop on c1, bishop on f1, and knight on g1 are doing nothing to stop the advance of black. On the other hand, black's pieces are very coordinated with these pawns, just like stopping every single escape square for the king. The knight on c5, stopping not escape square of b3 and d3, and while the bishop is the checkmating person. So a5, king takes c5 happened in the game, which was a good move from Hamppe. And knight e7, so supporting the d5 square, and the king is also locked in this barrier of b4, c4, d4, can't go to d5 either, can't go to b6, can't go to c6, can't go to d6. Only move for white is king b5. But okay, white played bishop b5 check, so he's just wanting to quickly develop the pieces and just get the king away from this attack. Bishop b5, king d8, and now bishop to c6. And an interesting try actually, because now, okay, sorry, not f6, bishop c6, and here you can't really take it. B takes c6, and now a move like c4, and everything is just opens up, and there's no way you can check the white king, and now white is safe. He's completely winning. While knight takes c6, simply king takes d5, and the white king gets away with king to e4, king to f3, and back to its own camp. So after bishop c6, b6 check happened. The only move, king to b5, and now knight takes c6. Another only move, king takes c6, and now the last brilliant move for black. Can you find the move that you have to play? Black is a queen and a knight down. So black has to quickly just give white mating threats, never let the king escape. The king king is wanting to escape from king takes d5 and back, king e4, king f3. But here, bishop b7 check. Now king has only one square to go, which is king b5. Why? Because if king takes b7, king b7. And it is checkmate for the white king, as rook hb8 is threatened next, and there's no way you can stop it. White can give like a check on g4, but a simple move like king to d6, and no more checks available. Queen g6 check will just prolong the checkmate, but the checkmate will be there. So king b5 is the only move, and now bishop a6 check. Again, king c6 is the only move here, and bishop b7 check, and this was how the draw was happening. Here, why is king c6 only move? Because king a4, bishop c4. And now you can see the power of this bishop and pawns, as b5 checkmate is threatened, and there is no way you can stop it. This black pawn on a3 is simply just ruining white's chances to come back. And this is checkmate. So king c6, that's why it's the only move. Bishop b7 check. And that was how the draw was agreed. Black being queen and a knight down. White king being in the middle of nowhere, in the center of black's camp. And the king is simply in mating nest. And so this was the immortal draw, I would say, because this draw is very hard to be repeated like such a brilliant game. And okay, hope you like the video, and do subscribe. If you like the video, do click the like button and do subscribe to my channel and share it with others. Thank you for watching. Bye.